everyone. Thanks for joining. It's gonna be a really awesome, fun intro. It's all about the accelerator this time. For those of you, I know you've gotten some emails regarding accelerator and what is it and how it's gonna help accelerate your nonprofit's growth at honestly fraction of the cost to essentially what Community Boost charges, or many other consulting agencies do charge to help you achieve that return on ad spend, and even teach you how to use the digital tools that are accessible to you, to your organization, to maximize your fundraising. So without further ado, we're Community Boost. I'm Ernie, of course. We directly served over 400 plus nonprofits alone, raised over $40 million in revenue. We work with over 20,000 registered nonprofits have been impacted through our efforts through our nonprofit marketing summit, and we're currently a growing team. We're about 57 rockstar team members at the moment, but we continue to grow, and it's all been just from the hard work and all the effort that we're putting into really just finding a way for nonprofits to really succeed and take their learnings and take their fundraising to the next level, and scale your impact and scale your missions year after year. Again, I'm Ernie Civic, Director of Marketing. What I do here is, it's before all of this, I was the area practice manager at Community Boost, and I really focused on pioneering the Facebook channel for nonprofits, and really finding ways for nonprofits to really, scale their impact through utilizing the crazy platform that it is, Facebook, or now called Meta, right? So I had the opportunity to work with very small budgets, $100, $200 a month sometimes, and try to find ways to really, identify that 3 times return on ad spend, or just honestly, just try to figure out like dollar for dollar match, like how do we get that back? And Facebook has so many different opportunities that, we learned as marketers by being inside of that platform day in and day out. But eventually it's, things change. Facebook updates almost every single day. I feel like I'm confused when I pop into it now if I take even a week off. And we want to create something really cool, which was the Nonprofit Accelerator, to really kind of show you how to scale and run your own ads and how to run your marketing without having to, pay an agency to kind of do it for you. So in today's agenda, we're going to do a recap, takeaways from a nonprofit acceleration report. So you'll kind of see that. We'll talk mainly about the Nonprofit Accelerator and how to skyrocket your nonprofit results. And we're going to answer a bunch of questions. So the Nonprofit Accelerator is really set up to help you, the organization, like I said, learn how to use Google, learn how to use Facebook, and meet with us twice a month to kind of, put that how to use, like I learned all these cool things, but how do we put it to action now? How do we implement these things? And you'll have the opportunity to meet with our experts twice a month to, so they can teach you how to implement it, to look over your strategies, look over your ads, all of that stuff. And today's going to be a little snippet of how the accelerator would work, right? So you're going to see exactly how you can today ask a bunch of questions. So as we're going through this webinar, please feel free to ask questions. Any issues you may be having with your current, digital strategy, with your, any digital platform, whatever it is, ask your questions, and you'll kind of get a little snippet of how that works with Chloe and Katie here with me. So they're going to be answering those questions for you and making sure that you can, you're set up for success. So recap from the acceleration report real quick. Of the survey respondents, 15 plus or more, organizations really want to, focus on that growth and revenue. And 59% are very likely to use the Google Ad Grant. 55% are very likely to try social advertising, and 44% are very likely to try paid digital ads for fundraising. So overall, most organizations are really looking to use the digital tools. Our world is so digital now. You want to use it. You want to go ahead and, take a piece of that pie that is available. It is, year after year, I think Giving Tuesday sends out their report on just Giving Tuesday results. And year after year, the numbers are doubling. I think in 2020, there was a 19% increase from 2019. 2021, I think it was like a 32% increase from the 2020, 19%. So who knows what's going to happen this year, but the numbers seem to grow, if not double, year after year. So knowing how to utilize that digital channel, knowing how to really take advantage of it is going to be really important for your fundraising now, but also for the future. Awesome. So what digital marketing strategies are you most interested in learning about, right? So what is it that you truly want to know? This is going to be a good place for you to write those questions down and ask them. This is your opportunity to really break down, like, what are you trying to accomplish, and let our team help you get there. This webinar is really going to teach and try to help you answer all those questions. Some of the questions we have, some of the, I guess, tee up here is, how to maximize the Google ad grant, launching Facebook and Instagram ads with the highest return, paid search and advertising. You have Bing, YouTube, Google. I mean, there's so many different opportunities that you can take advantage of. So we'd love to hear, what you're interested about learning and what you want to talk about today and how we can support you. Cool. Well, the top challenges preventing most nonprofit growths, and this is just something, we want to talk through, like, why did we create the accelerator, right? And here's some of the reasons why, right? So it's 45% of nonprofits said that not having enough time was their biggest struggle. And to be honest, I can truly relate to that. I've been part of the nonprofit space in a very long time, and it's always a small person team. And you have so many other things to worry about. And I feel like the last thing on your mind should be how a Google ad is how a Google ad is launched, or how your Facebook post is doing, right? You're trying to change the world. And that's one additional thing that you have to focus on, that you shouldn't have to focus on that much. 22% also said a budget continues to be the biggest limiting factor. And this is very true, right? You have very strict budgets, you have very strict, controlled spend, and you can't just put in $10,000 a month on ads. You can't put in, $300, $400, maybe $100 sometimes either. And that's okay too. And what we wanted to do as the accelerator is we wanted to really create a space to show you that you can work with a minimal budget and still win. And with the accelerator, you're learning how our team learns digital advertising. So what we're doing is we're showing you exactly how we teach our associates and how we teach our consultants on how to implement and create best-in-class strategies. We're then showing to you how to implement that same exact process. And then you're meeting with us twice a month to kind of go over that process and say, hey, I went through this part of the course, I implemented this build or this campaign. Can you review it? Can you check it? And can we launch it? And what is the expectation? What can we do next? And we can help you control that budget so you can stay within, the expected spend that you're supposed to be having. And then 12% said lack of education on how to effectively utilize digital strategies was a hurdle. And 12% said that. In my opinion, I think that would be probably the biggest, piece of it. And the reason for that is strategy is everything. Here at Community Boost, we begin strategizing for, year end as an example. We start strategizing year end, like September, maybe even August. I think Chloe can probably speak to it the best, but I'd say like mid-August to like beginning of September, we're planning out our strategy and we're already like building campaigns essentially and kind of having them on pause. For Google, Katie can also attest what the process is there. But the thing is, it's, strategy is such an important piece and strategy does change. So having having like some sort of structure to your strategy and having something already built, it makes it a lot easier to go ahead and make small little edits and tweaks before it goes live versus, trying to build that home. You have a week left and it's raining today and now you're trying to build the roof over your head. So think about it in that way. You want to build that strategy. You want to build it. It's the foundation and building blocks of your marketing or of your, home. And you want to go ahead and start early. So that way you don't get caught when in a thick of it, right? Like, because time flies. Before you blink, all of a sudden Giving Tuesday is happening and your strategy is just this idea you pondered through and you said, let's just launch it. And it doesn't work out. So you really want to think through your strategy. You want to think through what's actually being put together and then jump into it much earlier than, the time comes when you want to go live. And we'll talk about strategy as well here in the accelerator. Cool. So overall, the Nonprofit Accelerator equips nonprofits to scale revenue and impact with the best digital marketing strategies, driving growth while removing the barriers to growth. So like I mentioned earlier, we built this to really help your nonprofit succeed and to really teach you how to run and how to operate your own digital strategies and digital channels without the need of consultants, without the need of, agencies and things like that. And the reason for that is, for me personally, I look through our CRM and our customer database, and I said, man, we have so many organizations that, can't necessarily afford us, or they don't have the budget for us for this year. And what are we doing with them? Right? Is anyone talking? Are we creating any support for them? And the answer was, we kind of weren't, right? We're trying to identify what to offer them. So we had, we started sending out newsletters, we started sending out strategies, but it's all like one-off things. And it wasn't very concrete because you're then learning from 7 different sources, right? So we wanted to create something that does take care of the organizations that, again, don't have the budget this year or already spent their budget on something, but they want to continue learning because this stuff is scalable. You're supposed to be learning it and doing it day in and day out, right? It's not meant to be turned off. And we want to help the organizations that can't do it, right? The smaller orgs and the orgs that just, again, they don't have the budget for it, or they want to wait, right? They're waiting for the strategy to be rolled out or the content to be built, and et cetera. So we built this, and this is going to show you exactly how we're coaching our team on how to implement and learn these different channels. And then from there, we're kind of, meeting with you twice a month and connecting with you, and then going over those learnings and then teaching you and showing you how to implement them, screen sharing, and then, consulting with you, and it's all part of the course, which is super amazing. So how the accelerator works and how do we do it, right? So we take the do it with you approach and bring you to top digital marketing strategies from a team experts driving $40 million in online donation revenue. So the way it works is it's a done with you model. So if you want to think through, like you hired a trainer at a gym, right? So it's like you can go to the gym and work out, and chances are you're just kind of there and you're working out and you're doing your own research here and there, but eventually you just kind of, like most of us, like myself included, you just kind of give up. You're like, I don't know if I can get, it's taking too much time, because there's so much to learn and so much to do. So what we're doing is we're taking that do it, done for you model, which is how most agencies are, right? You pay the price and everything's done for you, to done with you. So you're at the gym, but now you have a trainer, right? So we're essentially going to be your trainer. So it's built on courses, coaching, and community. So the first step is the courses. You're going to have the opportunity to go through the courses, to go through the learnings of how to operate Google Ads, how to apply for the Google Ad Grant, how to keep it active, how to, maintain your ads running, how to optimize everything, and all that fun stuff, right? And Katie's going to show you today how fun it's not too hard, right? When you have the path to success, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I get this. Same thing with the trainer. I remember I hired a trainer and it was like, oh, you have to eat this and do this. I was like, oh, I just got to show up essentially. So that's kind of the courses, right? It's going to give you the path to that success and how you're going to maximize your fundraising. The second piece is then the coaching. And this is the big difference with pretty much any other course that's out there, is we are investing time back into you. So not only are you learning the courses and you're showing up, we're then choosing to, connect with you twice a month. And then we're going to go over that section of the course you went through. So we're going to go over it and we're going to talk through what the learnings were and where do you feel that you're stuck potentially? Like, how can we help you? Let's share your screen. Where are you stuck? And let's fix it. Let's help. So our office hours last week, I believe it was, Katie helped someone apply for the Google Ad Grant. They could not figure out how to do it. They watched a course on creating ads, but they didn't watch the course on applying. They're like, oh, I kind of want to do both. So we went through the entire process. We had them apply. They took the quiz. So she, we cheated and she passed the test on the quiz, right? She had Katie there to give her some answers. And it was really cool. And we helped launch some ads and it was amazing. And then the last portion of it is the community piece. So everyone that's on the accelerator gets access to the private meta group. And in there is, you don't have to wait to connect with us twice a week or twice a month. You can actually go right into a private meta group, ask your question, and it's typically answered within a day. So again, you have Community Boost consultants available to you, twice a month. On top of that, they're available to you every day, right on that community piece. So whatever issues or troubles or concerns you get into, we're there to help and support you on. Cool. So Nonprofit Accelerator. So the QR code is right there. Obviously, you know, we partner up with Fundraise Up, and it's amazing. Fundraise Up is choosing to offer everyone here today, you know, 50% tuition assistance. Please take advantage of this. This is a huge, you know, value add, and it's built for you. I personally put a ton of time into, you know, creating this and really building a structure around it. And it's really, my goal is to help 3x your donations, your learning, and your impact. We really want to help you launch your campaigns, launch your ads, launch your Facebook ads, launch your Google ads, and drive a 3 times return on ad spend, right? For every dollar you spend, I want to help you drive 3. And we're going to do that by building really solid campaigns and teaching you how to build really strong and solid audiences. And through my time working on Facebook and pioneering that channel, and working in LinkedIn, and working on, you know, Instagram, and working on TikTok, and all these ads, right? All these platforms. And when I would have the opportunity to audit some of the nonprofits into all these various channels, the biggest missing link was an overall, a well-structured campaign build, targeting the right audiences and speaking to those audiences, right? Because again, you're a lean team and you can't figure it all out. It's just too much to figure out. So we want to help you kind of get there through the accelerator. It'll be super cool. And I think, you know, you're going to scale, you're going to grow, and you'll have some, you know, the best team essentially teaching you how to make this happen. So the QR code, if you scan that on your phone, it'll take you right there. And then of course, with Fundraise Up, you get 50% off tuition assistance. So just the price alone to get Community Boost consulting twice a month on, even if you know, I think that alone is a crazy value add. But of course you get those, you know, accelerator videos, and you'll get the courses, and you can start keeping you can start learning how to execute and learn all these channels. And then what we're going to do now is we want to experience the accelerator with you. So we're going to go ahead and run through, you know, ask all of your questions. Let's talk about the accelerator. Let's talk about what it is. Let's talk how it would help you and your organization. And again, ask the questions that you're running into right now that you're having issues in your marketing strategy. We'd love to answer those today. So please feel free, you know, don't be shy, jump in. This is your opportunity to kind of let loose and say, all right, you know, we need a ton of help here. You know, I think Google is always a difficult one, especially if you have the ad grant. Katie's an expert there. She can help you kind of facilitate that and help answer a ton of questions there. But feel free to jump in and start asking questions. We're going to answer them, and you'll kind of get a glimpse of what the office hours are like with the accelerator. So we're going to have Chloe as one of the speakers. She's a digital specialist here at Community Boost. Chloe, I personally had the opportunity, you know, the greatest opportunity working with Chloe for a few years now. And, you know, she's amazing and knows the space really, really well. So she's going to be, you know, here answering the questions as well. And then so is Katie. Katie has been a digital specialist at Community Boost for quite some time. She actually just hosted our last office hours, and she did phenomenal. So if you do join the accelerator, all the recordings of our past office hours are accessible there. So you'll get to see her go through, I think it's like a 20-minute recording of actually the application for the ad grant and the process that it takes. So if you don't have the ad grant, you can literally just go ahead and watch Katie's video on the office hours from last week, and you'll go ahead and, you know, get your answers. But she is the Google guru here, so she'll be able to help answer any questions you have. Cool. Well, let's get started. Again, you have the QR code there. Please make sure you go ahead and visit that, and make sure you get your 50% off tuition, so that way you can get started and begin learning. But without further ado, I think we can jump into some questions. I know there's a bunch of them coming in. I was trying to keep track of things coming in, but yeah, this is essentially how the office hours works. We'll be on call with some consultants, which is going to be our Katie and Chloe right now. So I'll be in there, of course, as well. And we then jump on. Like ideally, our partners too, organizations will be on screen as well, and you'll be, you know, so we can, you know, have that face. I guess it's not a face-to-face, but it's like a digital face-to-face, right? But we'll have some of that, and then we can jump in. So without further ado, I know the chat was going crazy. So let's see what we got here on questions.
Hey, can I kick us off with some questions just to start us
Yeah.
off? I don't like being the first person to ask questions, so I'll be it. Um, you know, we were talking earlier about Katie, your specialty in the Google Ad Grant, so directed towards you. Is there a spend minimum for Google Ad Grant? How much should I be spending? What's the minimum to be able to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the Google Ad Grant, just to make sure everybody's on the same page, Google is giving you hypothetically $10,000 of ad spend a month. You don't have a minimum. I have some clients that their geo-targeting is really small. Their program is very, very specific. So they spend anywhere between like maybe $700 to $1,200 a month. And that's perfectly fine. So long as you're in your account regularly doing like updates to ad copy or keyword research or any of those things, it doesn't actually matter how much you spend. The one big thing to note though is if you don't spend your whole $10,000 in that month, there's no rollover. So it just kind of resets each month. So if you spend $700, you spend $700, but you won't be penalized for not maxing your account.
We got this question last time about that. How do I know if I have the Google Ad Grant?
Oh, that's really fun. So if you have the Google Ad Grant, that means that somebody at your organization created a Google for Nonprofit account and then went into that account and applied for the Google Ad Grant. Once you have that, you'll have a Google Ads code. It's called a CID. And so that's a 10-digit number that you have access to your big ol' ad grant account. And then if you go to the billing section and it says you are not billed, that's how you know that you're in an ad grant. If they ask for your credit card information, if they tell you that you're going to be billed, you're in a paid account, you're not in a grant account. So those are kind of the 3 steps to double check. Is like, do you even have a Google for Nonprofit account? Did your team member, did you apply for the grant through that? And then checking billing to make sure you're not being billed, because you don't want to accidentally pay for something you thought was free.
Thank you. Well, I guess one more I have, maybe directed towards Chloe. I think you're the Facebook master. What's if I'm going to start doing ads on Facebook, what's a good starting budget? How much should I spend? What's an effective rate?
I think the great and not so great thing about Facebook is that there's no one size fits all. So every account is different, every organization is different, but I think like the golden area is between 500 to 1,000 a month. Not everyone has this, which we know. So if you are just starting with like your very first engagement campaign, it can be a bit lower, but anywhere between 500 to 1,000, I think is a great place to start.
It's really good.
Go
Sorry.
for it.
I was going to say, I think it's Lucan asked the question here, but how do I cancel Google Ads grant account if they began charging monthly fee?
So they should never start charging you a fee for an ad grant account. So what I think may have happened with this account is maybe your organization set up a paid account on a coupon. Sometimes Google will give away like $500 of like a paid account coupon. And then once that coupon runs out, you start getting charged. So that makes me think that this is not a Google Ad Grant account. But what you can do is actually go in again to like your billing and settings. And there is a section in there where you should be able to cancel your paid Google account. If you are really confident it's a grant account, I would message Google support and say, hey, this is supposed to be a grant account. Why am I getting charged for it? And they will be able to go through through your account and tell you whether or not it's a paid or a grant account.
That's actually really good. I guess to help, I know it's kind of new and you know it's kind of weird also, right? You're getting people like, we're here to answer any question that you have about your existing ads, marketing strategy, or anything along those lines. So I'll also want to I think it's just a super important question to ask, but going into year end, for example, Chloe can help answer for Meta. what is a good, strong strategy going into year end? Like what should the, 20 plus organizations on this webinar focus on as they start planning for, to maximize their, fundraising for Giving Tuesday alone, I'd say.
Yeah, I think a huge part of it is really warming up your audiences before we start asking them for stuff. What I like to tell people is that it's a lot easier to walk up to one of your friends or a family member and ask them for $5 than a complete stranger, right? So I think really putting out a lot of impact statistics, what great work you've been doing throughout the year before you start asking for donations is a really great way to put out what great work you're already doing. And it reintroduces yourself even to past donors that may have, it may not be top of mind. So I think it's really important to start early and emphasize the great work that you're already doing and really introduce your organization to people who may not be aware.
That's awesome. And then when we talk about that beginning stages of that, we talk about the beginning stages of that awareness campaign, right? Or that buildup. So if you're running Facebook, so if you're part of the accelerator, like there'll be a video kind of showing you how to build that engagement audience, and it'll go through the types of audiences that you're going to want to build. So we'll go through building, your interest audiences, retargeted, socially engaged audiences, and et cetera. So we'll go through that, process, and then a type of ads that these people are going to be seeing. So I think the biggest piece there is creating that like nurturing feel, right? So it's, Giving Tuesday, you're gonna be asking for a dollar amount or for a donation. Before that, you want to go ahead and build that campaign, build the audiences that we're kind of showing you on there, just copy and paste essentially, right? But build those audiences, and then you're going to create ads that talk about, the organization's goals or what you've done or what you have achieved over the course of the last 3, 4, 6 months, and really just create that engagement of like feeling good kind of emotion, and letting the social engaged or the audiences or the donor audiences feel really powerful and feel like they've performed, like their dollars matter, right? And like explaining to them like, hey, because of all your donations at the beginning of the year, this is what we're able to achieve. So you're kind of creating that story piece of it. And then when Giving Tuesday comes and you ask for it again, now they have a reason to give because you already told them how, it operated beforehand. Let's see. Question came in, Jose. So I cannot scan. What's the fee? Oh, I'm on a phone, so I cannot scan. What's the fee? Yeah. So the accelerator alone, Will, you can jump in, but the accelerator alone without Fundraise Up tuition assistance is $2,495 for the entire year. So for the entire year is $2,495, where you get access to learning all the materials plus Community Boost consultant access twice a month during office hours.
And if you begin using Fundraise Up, if you're already using Fundraise Up, or you choose to start using Fundraise Up, which costs nothing to your budget, we are able to offer you 50% tuition assistance to that. So 50% of that yearly cost will be discounted off of that if you begin using Fundraise Up. And I will drop a little application for that tuition assistance in the chat. Ernie, I think we have some more questions in the chat as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then just overall for everyone, so just so everyone is aware, when you join the accelerator with Fundraise Up tuition assistance, you're literally paying for the entire year, $1,247, I think it comes out to. So about $1,200 to not only have access to, the best courses to really learn how to, maximize your strategies on Facebook, Google, pretty much any platform on a digital marketplace, but also you get access to people like myself, Chloe, Katie, twice a month to just pick their brains, ask them questions, and literally just have them there as support. I wish I personally had support when I was learning how to run ads, but you can get caught into something and jump on office hours and have Katie show you exactly where you're stuck in your Google Ads grant, ads, or whatever the issue may be. Yeah, and let's see the other question that popped in. What was it? Are we getting the recording? Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely getting a recording of the stuff. But yeah, but I think overall, I guess another good question is, if you have that, do we know how many people here have the ad grant? Does anyone have the ad grant yet here?
Ernie, while you're on that, we have a question. Can an average Joe do everything that needs to be done with setting up a Google Ads grant?
I can speak to this. Chris, 3 years ago, I was an average Joe setting up my Google ad grant for the nonprofit that I worked for, and I did successfully do it. I would say it'll be 1,000 times easier having access to the accelerator, because we pretty much can walk you through every step. But it can be done. It can be done. The biggest things that I can say is just Google for nonprofit, make sure you have one, and that will pretty much walk you through the application process for how to apply for the grant. And then Google really wants you to kind of watch their videos on how to use Google Ads. So they also have some learnings there. Again, our accelerator kind of has more like nonprofit specific strategy and learnings, but Google does technically walk you through how to get your grant and set up just kind of basic ads.
That's awesome. Cool, Tim. And then, yeah, if you all can just let us know if anyone has an ad grant here, that'd be super. That'd be really good information.
I think a couple people raised their hand when you asked that question. So I think there was about 4 or 5 that had their hand raised when that was asked. So
oh, awesome. Yeah. So for the ones that don't have it, I think there's like 20 people here. So for the ones that don't have it, please take advantage of that. It's $10,000 in free like money that Google's giving you. Take advantage of that. If you don't know how to apply, Katie can certainly help you. We can get you applied. It takes a few minutes, but definitely want to take advantage of that. It's a huge plus. But then for the ones that do have the ad grant, I'd love to know where you're at with it. How much are you spending? Are you maximizing that $10,000 a month? I think that's a really big question, because you should be. So please let us know if you are. And if you're not, I'd love to know, what are some of the reasons do you think you're not? Or we can also help take a look at that. If you want, you can pop, we can screen share and we can see what are some of the, things that you could be doing better. But Tim Turner here asked, whom do you prefer to work with? Experienced social media manager or almost newbie? Someone with little experience. The accelerator is designed to help both, but primarily the objective is to help the smaller, newer organizations that are trying to figure it out, right? So the courses are set up, like I said, how we coach our team on how to maximize, the learnings and how to really learn the best steps. So it's designed that way. So we're teaching you exactly how we teach our team. And then by us connecting in our office hours twice a month, we're also talking through, okay, so you implemented it. Let's see how you did that. Let's go through it. And we're really just coaching you and working with you and making sure that not only are you learning this stuff, but that's active and it's operating and it's functional for you. So you're essentially getting like a free service, like a free marketing service for, $12.47, I think, for the year, which is, I don't know what that is per month, but it's probably like $100 a month or something it comes out to. But yeah, so it's really designed for anyone, but a newbie would definitely be able to handle it as well. Is the point of it. Lindsay, my org has both a small marketing team and a small fundraising team. Does this work typically live with marketing or fundraising? It's for both, right? Marketing and fundraising go hand in hand. You have to know the strategies. You got to learn how to put in all of those pieces to then effectively run a strong fundraising campaign. So through the accelerator, the marketing team is really, I'd say for the marketing team, it's really important for them to learn how to operate all these different channels. Like LinkedIn is amazing for corporate donations. And if taking advantage of that is huge. Google ad grant, like I said, I don't know how many people here are maximizing the spend. We'll take a look, but just identifying ways to maximize your $10,000 a month will be huge. Finding ways to really turn on very strong Facebook audiences and Facebook campaigns can yield an insane return on investment if it's done properly, which then all that data and information can also be translated to the fundraising team if you do have someone that's more specific on the fundraising side, because all that data and information will be very useful for them to go ahead and connect, the best landing pages essentially, or buttons, and really they'll understand like what to ask for, what types of goals to set for the fundraising for, let's say, Giving Tuesday. We haven't done any of this work, hence the question of trying to figure out what department should. Yeah, for sure. So I think, Lindsay, like Accelerator will be great for you because, again, I would put both the teams on part of the Accelerator. So it's just a one-time fee that they all would have access to it. But yeah, they can learn exactly how to operate the marketing channels, of what's available, and how to put it all in perspective for like, the best fundraising. But all of this is really focused on maximizing your fundraising and maximizing the return. So identifying and learning how to operate those channels, it kind of goes hand to hand working with, our team. Cool. Chris said, I manage the marketing for 5 nonprofits. Do I need a separate Google for Nonprofits account for each nonprofit? Katie.
So if the 5 nonprofits are housed under 5 different EIN numbers, I would do 5 separate Google for Nonprofit accounts, because that means you can get 5 separate ad grants. So each organization would get $10,000. If they are all under the same like nonprofit code, you'll have to just use the one account for all 5, and you will only have $10,000. So they won't shift it because there's 5 different names. So that's kind of the big question, is do you have 5 different nonprofit codes for each org?
Yeah, I would definitely go for the 5 separate. 50,000 sounds way cooler than 10 at that point, right? Cool. Lucan said, to be honest, I'm registered with Google Ad Grant, but haven't been utilizing it because I'm not that educated around it. Welcome to the Accelerator. That's literally what we're, that's honestly why we built this, because we did realize that there's a lot of organizations that apply, but then they're like, well, what's next? Because I personally am not an ad grant expert. I know very little. And when I go into the Google ad, like campaign manager, I think that's what it's called, right? See, I don't even know what the name of it is, but it's like when I go in there and I look at all those numbers and all the columns and stuff, I personally get lost and confused, and I'm pinging, Katie, like, where do I go? So the Accelerator is designed to teach you step by step and slowly how to, what each thing represents, where you should go, how to navigate it, and then also on top of that, connect with Katie and have her kind of walk you through those step-by-steps again and kind of give you input, and then, best strategies and best case scenarios kind of things. Cool. Chris. Now, should I have just one account at the enterprise? Or about his 5 nonprofit, or should he have just one account under enterprise level? Would that still be $10,000 though?
Yeah, if it's like one big for all 5, it would just be $10,000.
Yeah, and then Lucan again said, I've done 2 ads, but it was discontinued due to an overdue amount that needed to be paid.
Yeah, that indicates to me that it was a paid account, not a grant account. So I would check with whomever set up the account to see if you're just in the wrong one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Tim said, how does Accelerator differ from traditional consulting arrangement with Community Boost? Yeah, it's very different. So the Accelerator is only available to organizations doing about 500K or less, because it is designed for the smaller organizations. We really want to help them scale and impact and really help them learn and utilize the space. So with Community Boost, we typically work with organizations $1 million and up. And then the fee obviously is a lot higher. So for the Accelerator, if you're with Fundraise Up, you have 50% off tuition. So you're paying $1,247. So you're paying about $1,200 for the entire year to have access to Community Boost consultants and the courses and the community, versus to work with us, you'd have to be that $1 million+ org. But then also I think our monthly prices are much higher than just that yearly price alone. What type of campaigns in a Google Ad Grant used for 1, getting new free members, 2, getting paid members, 3, generating leads, for grants, and 4, generating leads for sponsors? Katie, this is a Katie question for sure.
This is a Katie question. So when we're looking at the Google ad grant, a lot of the time we're kind of treating it as an awareness section of your funnel, really trying to make sure that you're reaching people who are searching for things that relate to your organization. So we normally break things up into a general awareness campaign, which has, so say you do puppy adoptions. I love the puppy adoption example. So your awareness campaign would have things that include puppy adoptions, kitten adoptions, help for puppies, where to find puppies, and it's just general awareness. And then you have a branded, which is all the keywords that relate directly to your organization. If your organization is called puppyadoptions.com, you want to be bidding on puppyadoptions.com. And then we get into how we're getting supporters. If you want donations, monetary donations, we normally have a donation campaign that is like nonprofits to donate to, animal nonprofits to donate to, how to financially support animals, those kinds of ad groups in that campaign. And then if you're also looking for in-kind donations, if you need kennels, food, if you're doing, shifting out of animals and you're giving support to the Ukraine and you need medical supplies, you can do a kind of items in kind donation where you can start bidding on where to donate medical supplies, how to donate medical supplies, those kinds of things. So we break it up into general awareness, branded, and then we get into the nitty gritty of donation campaigns. I would say that as far as a donation platform, or at least a donation advertising platform, we do get monetary donations that come in through the ad grants. A lot of the time it's for bigger orgs that have a lot of brand awareness and loyalty. So building out that branded campaign is really important. But then also utilizing kind of Facebook hand in hand, or even paid search hand in hand with the grant, allows you to kind of capitalize on the awareness of what you're building with the grant with your free money, and then find a more targeted audience and remarket to those audiences through a paid channel, because those tend to be the ones that really bring in the big ROI and big donor dollars.
Nice, thank you. Valerie's question, I feel you need to hire someone just to do Google. Nonprofits don't have funds, so then what's the benefit? Yeah, so the Google ad grant it's free $10,000. So it's you don't need the funds. You just need to be a nonprofit, and they give you $10,000 a month to spend. And then through obviously the accelerator, we can teach you how to operate it and show you exactly, even if you, depending on the time you do have available to, dedicate to it, we can help kind of show you how to kind of apply that, how to apply the campaigns, how to apply some ads, and how to keep that $10,000 active, so you can at minimum take advantage of that and get some, brand awareness for your organization, whether it's local or nationwide. So it is $10,000 being given to you, for free. Even if you can dedicate 30 minutes to it, a week, our team can help kind of show you how to build out some campaigns that can run on their own at minimum. So at least you can take advantage of it, right? Cool. And then Chris asked, and this is a big Katie day. This is awesome. Chris asked, are nonprofits, okay, so he's having issues getting like churches. He's feeling churches have a restriction on an ad grant. Our nonprofits are all Christian based, but our homeless shelter in downtown Jacksonville is not a true religious organization.
Yeah, so I have had clients with the Google ad grant that are churches, so that should not limit you from getting the ad grant. The biggest thing that I see that impacts the actual performance of your ad grant is remarketing audiences. So if Google flags your org as being connected to a religious affiliation, you won't be able to target people who have already visited your website. If you're advertising, that homeless shelter through the same account that your church is connected to, you probably wouldn't be able to do remarketing, but you should be able to still do just general expansion around homeless shelters downtown, how to support unhoused, how to support homeless individuals. Those kinds of things can still be homed in your church's ad grant account.
Definitely be able to get it. Yeah, and then not sure, regarding, I think for me, Google, like I said, I don't know Google super well, but Facebook is also going to be a very low-hanging fruit for you all. I'm not sure if anyone here is running or try running any Facebook ads. I'd love to know if you did, or Meta, we should call them now. But please let us know. Chloe also can help answer any questions there. That sometimes, Meta is always going to drive like really good results for you. It's always going to yield like strong return on ad spend if you I like that, Chris. But if you can put the campaign together structurally really well. If you have any questions around that, we can help you answer that too, and kind of get the ball rolling at minimum for you. But yes, Facebook ads are the bomb in a good way. They're awesome. Like they work really well. During year end, we see some tremendous case studies come out of those. And it's really amazing. What is a 501(c) organization? I've seen this a few times online, however, not a 501(c)(3) organization. Google for Nonprofit accepted our registration as successful.
Yeah, so 501(c)(3) is what the United States uses as their determination for a nonprofit. So since the Google for Nonprofit program is like global, whatever code they use in South Africa that like determines that you are a nonprofit, that is like the equivalent to a 501(c)(3) in the United States. I know it's different in Canada. It's like I have a Canadian client, they had something a little different. So it's just whatever code you tell Google to explain that you're a nonprofit.
Awesome. Well, not sure if you have any other questions, we still have some time, so please feel free to ask them. But could you provide a flyer or something that lays out the offerings and prices? Yes, for sure. I'll send, Will, if you want to share the link for them, then they can get the tuition assistance. That'll be awesome. There it is right there. So there's the link right down at the bottom. Yes, the accelerator is really set up to help. So there's the forms fundraise up page. If you just fill that out that we'll just send, you just got to fill that out. You get 50% off. Again, it's $1,200 for the year. I mean, even for the people that don't have the ad grant, like you're given $1,200 for the year to get access to $10,000 of monthly spend that we can help you with. Right, it's a pretty easy win there on what you should probably do, but overall, just learning how to maximize your marketing and just get access to Community Boost's help. So Chris has been asking a ton of questions, and yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And if you need help with anything, like we're here, and you have access to us to kind of help shape your organization and put you in a position to maximize that fundraising. Valerie said, oh, our old Instagram and Facebook pages didn't seem to integrate when we moved to Meta. Have you experienced it?
Interesting. I think we could be talking about like the new pages experience. I know it's not rolled out to every single page yet, but I believe they're rolling over automatically. So not every page that I've seen has rolled over yet. I think it's coming in waves, but it should still be totally fine.
Yeah, and that's also something we can handle and work with you. So if it doesn't get transferred over and for some reason your account's the only one, we do work closely with Facebook. We do have like points of contact. We do have people that we get in touch with to help kind of facilitate that for you as well. But for everyone on here, just do keep in mind Facebook is slow. There is times where I've got on like support calls to help client out, and their page looks completely different than mine, and I'm even scratching my head like, how do we get here? So they are slow to, things do come in waves. So just be patient with them, I guess, on that side. Yeah, Chris, so you get the discount if you are on Fundraise Up. So that's the perk. So you get 50% off being with Fundraise Up. It's something that they're offering for all their clients. It's 50% tuition, 50% off tuition, which is really cool. You just have to fill out that form. We have a social media content director who's responsible for creating, posting, managing all our social media content. Does your Community Boost package work with someone like her, one-on-one to guide her with support? So we would work with her. It's not one-on-one guided support, but we do have a social content builder course that she can go through and really see how we at Community Boost run the social media channel. So how do we run it? What are the strategies that we put in place? How we operate that? And then during the office hours, she can actually jump on and ask questions and get all of her questions answered, but it wouldn't be one-on-one. It would be more in like, a group setting. So for everyone to learn that's there. Awesome. Well, I think that wraps up the questions. That was amazing. Thanks.
Sorry, Ernie, we have one more question from Lucan, and I'm going to answer it because I have an answer for it. So with tax exemptions and tax benefits from donating, what we tend to do is add this to a donation campaign and have the keywords around like tax benefits donating, 18A tax exemption organizations. They're highly competitive keywords. So like we have organizations that are in Arizona that have like a really great tax. I don't know anything about taxes, but they have a really good benefit of donating to nonprofits. And we noticed that these are really competitive keywords, but you can kind of set that up and search for these like 18A tax exemption, 18A tax benefits, those kinds of things, and bid on those keywords. And then when somebody is searching for like, hey, how do I get a tax benefit? Your ad will be, in the running to show. And we have found that work really well for the ad grant account. And then if you decide that you have extra budget to try a paid thing, this does work also really, really well in paid search.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you all for joining. This was super fun. I hope you've learned a lot. I guess overall, I just want to let everyone know. So the Community Boost Accelerator is a course. It's an online, it's a year-long, commitment. We do upload content monthly, essentially, onto the course where you can learn different things about, Facebook, Google, and all these different things. New content is uploaded, regularly. And you are essentially going to be going through the courses, learning how to implement some of these things yourself. The videos are like 3 to 5 minutes long. So it's really cool. It's nothing long and, kind of boring. It's really screen sharing and showing you exactly how we do it with our team. So one, you're learning how to do that. Second piece is obviously consulting. So you get to really, connect with our team and learn how to implement these, really focusing on that how. So it's like you learn the what and the why. So it's like, I know why I need it. Here's how to, here's the what and what should be done. And then you get that coaching piece, connecting with our team on the how. And it's like, this is how we're going to implement it and how we're going to activate it for your account specifically. And then last but not least is that community piece. You'll get that private access to, the meta group and all the questions you're asking today. If you're a part of Accelerator, you can post all those questions in the private meta group and get answers to all of them. And that way you can, focus more on scaling and saving the world instead of trying to solve, Google's problem to why, maybe your ad grant's not fully spending or why you didn't get access to something or etc. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and hopefully I'll see you all in the Accelerator. It'll be super fun.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone.